But so I then, Steve, and Liv was like, look, I'm not also going to sign up to just like always be the...
That guy, Damien. Damien?
She's like, I don't want to just like sign up to be like, oh, I'm trying to be like a spoiled brat. Or she's like, yeah, did my family go out to eat? Yeah, we would do restaurants, we would celebrate. I get that Steve's family never did that. That was just like so foreign that they've still never gone out to eat as a family at a restaurant. As adults. Correct.
Never.
Correct.
That's so weird.
Like, even when we were in San Diego last year and Daniel was coming home from his mission early for medical reasons.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, you guys are driving because they refused to fly because she in her mind, because Kim, it's really just like her way or no way. And so even when we were doing that, I'd said, hey, when Danny comes back, Steven and I will pay to take the whole family to go out to dinner, to do like celebration. And they were like, no, we'll just save the money and we'll just have enchiladas. We're bringing enchiladas from Utah in a freezer. If you could just preheat the oven. You're like, that was a very, like, it's just very frustrating. And so she's like, I'm not going to do this my whole fucking marriage. My whole life, where I've just made to feel like this rich, snob because, like, what, I want a meal? Like,
yeah.
So.
That's how my friend Megan is. Like, her husband's family, nothing, so cheap.
Yeah.
And she was raised on 1%. And, like, she's like, just enjoy it when you're with her family, and then just.
Well, I said, you have to decide what works for you and Daniel. It needs to be you and Daniel first.
Yeah,
and then
that's true.
The secondary family dynamic. So if Daniel's like, hey, this is what our budget is. And then if you say, can we go a little bit more? And he says, sure, we can go a little bit more, but not much more. You can push a little bit and he can restrain. It's like Steven and I do that all the time. But Steven and I have to decide. So like we don't do Thanksgiving and Christmas with his family. The fact that his family takes the 3 days after Christmas every fucking year to go up to the family cabin, that's gonna have to change. Like I told Steven that. For us. They may still decide to do it, but we don't have to go. Yeah. So what we were dealing with that Wednesday night with his parents, Thursday night with them, and then I took Shiley's pictures, his sister's pictures last night, and so we dealt with it all last night. So like, we've been dealing with conflict. Yeah. So I took that a little early last night. That thing is why I cried so hard. Yeah. I practiced talking about Maggie Smith coming here, so I wouldn't cry. I cried twice in the park. Twice. Then I cried about thinking about crying. Like I cried the initial thought about like, I was like practicing saying it so I don't cry. Yeah. And then I was like, okay, even if I do cry, how am I going to get out of it? So I was like, okay, take a break. I listened to some music, and then I like came back to it, cried again. Got it. So I just think
that's going to be great.
It's going to be great. Actually, I think it will be a beautiful social cut. Mm-hmm. In that like it's very timely, and I think people can be like, that's how I feel, Yeah. So I still think we should do it, but I'm going to try not to just be like, my grandma died too. Grandma's matter, particularly after you just like buried yours. Yeah, so I'll be like sensitive about that.
Technically didn't bury her.
Oh, she was in an urn. My grandma was in an urn. My grandma was in an urn, but we buried the urn. She was cremated, but in Canada, they have so much. Okay. Ready? Hello! Welcome, you guys. We're back. We took a week off. This is the Good Bad Advice podcast. We are your hosts. I am Chase.
And I'm Sophie.
And we give unsolicited advice to those in the news who need a little help. And like I had said at the beginning, we took last week off because you were dealing with the family funeral, which we're so sad for you, but we're so happy you're back.
I know we were talking right before this. I had to bury my grandma, but not bury her because she was in a beautiful urn. Some of my grandparents, like best friends in Sonora, literally like hand spun a like oak urn for her.
Oh my gosh, beautiful.
Gorgeous, so beautiful. I'm like, oh, put me in there too when I'm done.
Oh gosh, what if that was like cultural? I wonder if there is a culture that just at the death you just like get incinerated and then just combine all the ashes.
Well, that's how my grandma.
And it's like mixing, and then like you could use it like in a therapist's office to like drag the sand, like
to do a seance.
Or like those TikToks. The seance.
You're
just a little
the
bit
sand
of
garden.
Yeah, the sand garden. It's like, oh, did you like play with that? Yeah, that's my grandma. Wait, what?
No,
not to be disrespectful to your grandma,
No,
but like
not
so
at
funny to be like, and so if
Right.
everyone could just add a little bit of grandma to your
I
sand
know
garden.
it's so morbid, but like I was all jokes at the funeral because I'm just like
It's a coping mechanism.
it's for sure coping, but it's also just like I feel all of the emotions, all of the sadness, all of the everything,
Yeah.
like all the time. So when I'm in a situation that is just purely sad, I'm like, I can't do this. Like on the drive to the funeral, my mom was so stressed that the flowers weren't going to show up because we are in a very small town.
Sure.
It is like.
And we love Molly because she wants it to be beautiful, not for
Yes.
her, but for her mom.
Yes, for her mom.
And so
It's
that
not-
level of stress would be very high.
Oh,
I'm sure.
she is so anxious, and I'm like, Mom, if the flowers don't show up, I will run to a grocery store, and I will put together an arrangement. Like, it's gonna be fine. I've done this before.
Mhm.
It's all gonna be good.
Also, Grandma will never know.
Yeah.
I guess we'll never know.
It's all gonna be fine. She's like, okay. Then we're driving. 5 minutes later, I just start giggling. She's like, what are you laughing at? I'm like, I'm just picturing the type of stores that are in this town and what flowers that I will be able to find. And Grandma's gonna have a bouquet of Technicolor daisies.
Carnation Station. We will be dealing in
All I could picture
like a
was those,
single date, like a
those
single
dyed,
rose.
like
Yeah.
red, purple, and like blue and
The
green
faux.
daisies.
The faux ones. You're like, actually, Mom, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a cactus and tumbleweed.
She goes, that's not funny. She's like, it's actually really funny. After the funeral, I said it again to her. Like, thank goodness Grandma didn't have Technicolor Daisy funeral, and she started laughing. And I was like,
Okay, she got it. Yeah.
okay. And then I think we need to discuss. We have discussed funerals a lot on this show,
Uh-huh.
but somebody has got to figure out how to make funerals less sad.
Me, I figured it out. Everybody
It's
comes
just-
wearing a wig.
It's just crazy. The opening song they picked, Near My God to Thee, I'm like, sorry,
Choices.
did you want to upset everyone?
Yeah.
Did you want us all to cry? But they almost picked I Stand All Amazed. I'm like, I would have walked out.
Yeah, I stand up and out.
Really,
Wait, what
like,
do you
it's
want
not-
your opening song at your funeral to be? Because I've given my funeral plans, but you haven't given yours.
Oh, to be, yeah, I haven't.
Because you know that I want to leave to firework.
That's
It's
a
so
good
funny because baby, you're with wigs. Firework.
I did tell Molly I was gonna do a melodic
Tribute?
September. for
Was she
hers.
buried on the 21st?
No, for
she
my
was the
mom's
23rd.
funeral. I
Oh.
said I'm gonna do a melodic September. That's literally what I said, and then I was like, ba-dee-ya-dee-ya. Everybody,
Cause I'm a savage,
ba-dee-ya-dee-ya.
classy, ratchet.
No, I want happy things at my funeral. I want people to be wearing yellow. It's just, oh
Not me.
man,
You
they're
know,
so
I want
sad.
everyone in black, so I want a happy, I want everyone with a black backdrop for their wig.
Oh yeah.
I do think
colorful
the
wigs.
wigs, I think the wigs should just go to have you ever been to a funeral where everyone's wearing wigs? I mean, not in parts of the world where everyone wears wigs normally, but
Yeah.
like, as like we don't want to be sad, so you're wearing a clown
I've been to a lot
afro.
of.
Like, red nose optional. Like, I guess it'd be like going to a clown funeral. Like,
Had to
like
have been an
they
episode of
pull out
Modern Family.
100%. They pull out like the handkerchiefs, and the guy's just passing them out to people, just pulling them out of his sleeve. Just kidding.
That is a really
Wait,
good.
do we hire a mime for the funeral? My funeral. Do I add that to funeral
He walks
plans?
around like
Or a balloon animal? Like balloon. Hey kid, what do you want?
balloon crowns.
Balloon crowns.
It just makes all variants of balloon.
I
hats.
do love the idea.
Like,
Actually,
have
of
you seen
not
the
just.
balloon like Viking hat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would even think the mimes is a better get, but like 10 of them that are all just wandering, that are like in the
Yeah,
crowd.
because then it's like interactive theater. I don't want to go to interactive
I
theater.
do. I want to make my friends and family suffer through interactive. That is what it is. They
That
all
would be
think.
extremely distracting to how miserable it is that you would be dead.
I know. It'd be like, what are we doing here? How soon can we get out of here? It's like, gotcha.
I hate that we showed up for this.
I hate him for this. One last chance to just give the world my middle finger.
Yeah, it was a beautiful service. Molly, when she got up to speak, obviously did amazing. But we are all crying, and Molly goes, "Oh my gosh, you guys, stop it!"
From the pulpit?
Yes, she goes,
Wait,
"My family, stop it! Stop crying."
I bet everybody loved that though. That's a really like
Really, that was so
endearing
funny.
part of that. But so you're in California with family.
Yep.
It was so fun to kind of be there with everybody. Because even though the funeral was really sad, did you feel like you made good memories or had good times with people?
Yes, it's just that, like, again, it's like my mom comes from a small town. Like, I cannot emphasize enough how little this town is, and so it just is odd.
Mm-hmm.
It just is an odd place, and it just has like interesting. Although I did become and almost brought back a cat for you.
You almost became
I almost became a cat person.
like a furry?
No, just a cat person in that I would purchase one.
Oh yeah. Okay. Wait. What kind of cat?
It was a black cat with green eyes.
I don't want that. Here's what I want for my next
No,
cat.
that's it.
I want a rag type. A rag.
those are so
What if
cute.
the one, a ragdoll cat?
Uh-huh.
Or I want the one that's so fluffy.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't want to have cat hair everywhere.
I was at this farm because, again, small town.
Right.
We were my nieces and nephews were riding their horses, and this black cat comes out of their barn. So cute, comes up to my leg, starts like rubbing against my leg, and I'm like, pretty cute. Then it starts pawing on my leg, and I was like,
kneading.
yeah, like going like this, and I was like, girl, I don't know you, and I'm not stupid enough to pick up a cat I don't know. Like that sounds, especially a wild cat. Like we're in farm country.
Right.
Starts pawing at my leg. I keep crouching down to pet it. It then latches onto my leg, scales my leg,
No.
and I was like, okay, I've been chosen. It's okay. Grab it off of my leg and put it up to my chest. Circles into a ball, lays down. And I was just like, okay, I'm taking this home.
Imprint. You just slip it into your shirt.
Literally.
No one will notice.
And I'm mildly allergic to cats.
Oh, okay.
Not terribly. Like if I go to your house, I'm
Yeah.
totally fine. Unless I'm like, start rubbing my eyes, or if I pet them and then I rub my eyes, obviously. I have been holding this cat for so long. My entire neck is so red. I have like raised bumps. But I'm sorry the cat chose me. Like,
Yeah.
I literally was holding it like this, just like, oh my gosh.
The asthma kicks in.
And then I was giving it to my nieces and nephews. It was the nicest cat I've ever met. These little kids are holding it, just like barely holding it. It's so nice, just cuddling up into them. I was like, you're coming home with me.
So are we thinking maybe a cat?
No, because I did leave and I was like, I'm so itchy.
Okay.
It's a
But it
nightmare.
would have been really fun if you got a kitty.
Well, there was 3 of them. All
So you could
triplets.
have
They
one,
look
I could have
exactly the same.
And Molly could have had one. Maybe that's what your grandma wanted.
Molly.
You just had her.
Molly with the cat just brought that out of me, that laugh. So funny.
Well, I've had a super busy week. We have been we're very, very excited. Mazel to Steven's brother and his fiance getting married in November. We've been kind of in the throes of doing wedding planning, and there's nothing more stressful for a family and like a couple than planning a wedding.
Yeah.
And I love throwing events, and I'm excellent at throwing, I mean, you know,
Yeah.
obviously I threw a shower for the gods for you, McQueen.
Yeah. That was
And so they're kind of like, oh, hey, blah, 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 leaning into that. So we're doing tons of planning, which has actually been pretty fun, but a little exhausting.
Party planning is so fun until
Yeah,
you
you
have to
kinda-
execute.
Yeah, because you had your big event, your work
Yeah.
event this week.
Work event, and then I've now started planning a Christmas party, which like,
What
I
did you
know
decide on the
sometimes
theme? Are
we'll
you able
lean
to say? Or can you just say it off?
it's like opera pura,
Okay.
but I'm leaning less into ski, leaning more into lodge.
Yeah. I think Lodge is.
Like I want it
Really
to
cute.
feel, I like, I said to the people who are helping me do the event, I'm like, think Maximista Stein Eriksen.
Done. Actually, the visual, that's a really, really good.
Yeah, like, I
New
need it to look rich, but discount.
But Maximista.
But I need it to look home goods.
Yeah. We need to look good, and then we need to look home good.
Exactly.
Exactly.
But I'm really excited. I think it's going to turn out great. But it's so fun putting all the details together. And then, like, the week before, you're like, I will never have fun again. I want to go to sleep and never wake up. I want to...
sometimes there's like, I just want to be in a car accident and then have to be in bed for like a week and just catch up on all my TV.
One time I told somebody, like, in high school I had an intrusive thought as I was, like, driving to drill at 5 a.m. That you're driving and you, like, look at a pole and you're like... And you're like, how hard
would I have to be
would I have to drive into that pole to just miss practice, not total my car,
right?
But like maybe be potentially injured enough that I could skip like 3 practices.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "It was 5 a.m. Leave me alone." Like,
yeah, no one's okay at 5 a.m. What are you doing?
And obviously I wasn't gonna do it.
Right.
But there's like a little thing in there that's like, "Hey, crazy." Crazy idea.
Every now and then when I have an intrusive thought, I catch it. I almost catch all my intrusive thoughts before they leave my mouth, like the scary ones. But every now and then I'll get out and be like, "Hello, old friend. Go back to where you came from." Like it's like under the recesses of my trauma history, and it's just like, "Ooh, shh. No, not right now. Claps for you. I see you. Back to the basement."
Mine are usually to do something dramatic, like think of
it's
like
5 a.m. I'm driving to drill. Like you're like driving to the jail, but you're like, I'm driving to drill, and I'm like, how am I gonna ruin this practice and the next without totaling my car? Like the most.
Sometimes when Trayvon and I are in a play fight, like the Nutcracker.
Yeah.
Like I want to just like throw something off of a table, flip a table, but then the idea of like the mess that it will create after. Causes me to stop usually, but that's usually where my intrusive thoughts are.
Yeah.
They're not so dark. The driving into a bowl is very dark.
Yeah. Oh no. Now that we're making light, if anyone needs help, go to the right
please.
Resources, go to therapy. Actually, I was talking to an attorney last week.
We both go to therapy regularly.
Literally,
so we
going from here to therapy. Hi, Christina. So I was talking to a client, and he was like, goes, and I really think these parties could benefit from therapy. And I said to him, I think everybody could benefit from therapy. And he goes, oh yeah, like are you thinking I could? And I was like, yeah, honestly, I think everybody.
Yeah, actually,
you're part of the buddy.
Things you've said during this conversation, and
like yeah, I'd like to revisit something. I've been recording. Click.
Even saying everybody needs to go to therapy is something that somebody who goes to therapy should say.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got 3 GBs. Did you do yours as well? Okay, I'm gonna. Now, one of my GBs is all the fall TV because we have a story about fall premieres. So I'm gonna save my TV thoughts for that segment of the show. But I have listened to all of Gaga's new album, Lady Gaga 7.
One.
What? The Joker one, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm calling it Lady Gaga 7 because that's how she kind of teased it. I think she was in an interview saying, like someone had said, is this Lady Gaga 7? And she was like, like not answering, like trying to be provocative or I don't know.
Yeah.
Did you listen up to it at all?
No.
When I tell you it is not what you thought it would be, I mean, it has a little bit of everything.
Okay.
Classic jazz, classic rock, classic pop. Like she hits.
Is it the soundtrack for the movie?
No, it's her. I don't know if it'll be the soundtrack. I don't know how they're going to integrate it.
Is the new Joker movie a musical?
Yes. So it could be, but I don't hear him. I'm just hearing her on the album.
Can Joaquin Phoenix sing?
I don't know, but
well,
maybe
did he play Johnny Cash? Was that him?
Was that him? I think it was.
So
okay,
yes.
so now I'm nervous because I looked up. I was trying to look up. Oh,
wait, that's so funny. I'm like, can he even sing? Oh, didn't he play Johnny Cash?
Was it Johnny Cash? Okay. Billboard is reporting that. Oh, I don't know because it's. So it says, so when Mother Monster announced earlier this week that she would be dropping a surprise album on Friday titled Harley Quinn, theories began flying around the fandom that they might also, of what they would hear. They believed that it would be the soundtrack, but some believed that it would just be a transitional project akin to Cheek, more of like an Lady Gaga 6.5. But now that Harley Quinn is here, we can confidently say, well, that everyone was a little bit right. The new Gaga album is equal parts Joker companion piece and covers of classic show tunes and pop standards with a pair of original Gaga songs she wrote specifically for the album to round the whole thing out. Employing her ever-impressive voice, Gaga manages to take each of these beloved songs and morph them into her own version of a Harley Quinn-inspired romp. So it's her character as Harley Quinn performing. I don't know what the show will be like. It's actually very, very, very interesting.
Yeah.
It's a little too artistic for me to think that it's going to be in the running for any award, but I think it's a really interesting ad campaign for the show. I think they're really trying to push the show because DC hasn't had a major comic success, I think, since Joker 1.
Which is kind of silly because I just feel like people will see the Joker anyway.
Yeah, and I feel like people will see it because of Gaga, people will see it because of the Joker, people will see it because of superhero. Like, you're kind of already
Did you watch the first one?
I don't watch it. I heard it was really, really disturbing.
It's very, I don't know.
Or dark or something.
Disturbing is probably right. It was unnerving the entire time.
I don't like that sort of stuff. It's too...
It's just you were always waiting for something traumatic to happen, and it did. It was... Disturbing is probably a good word for it.
Okay, my other one I'm going to give just a sampling of is, did I send you Kelly Clarkson performing My Heart Will Go On?
My Heart Will Go On?
Yeah. I sent it to you last night, honey. You hearted it. So, hang on a sec. Did we just learn that she did not actually
My Heart Will Go On? I thought you sent me the Good Luck Babe one.
No.
Oh, I can't listen to this actually right now.
Listen to this, hang on.
I will.
Listen to this part. Like, when I tell you I listened to this on repeat last night,
My Heart Will Go On will make me cry every time.
I alternated between that and Maggie Smith material, which we're going to talk about in the stories.
Why didn't you just watch an episode of This Is Us? Like, why wouldn't you just...
I could have just watched I Am Sam.
Traumatize yourself.
I was crying so hard. I just think it's so beautiful. I still think the best version of My Heart Will Go On is Jessie J performing on, well, it's Celine.
Yeah.
The best cover is Jessie J singing on The Singer, the Chinese competition show.
That was a good one.
But this is a really beautiful take. It's very drawn out, but big voice.
As she should.
I love Kelly Clarkson so much. Kelly Clarkson!
Kelly Clarkson! And we have a resident Kelly Clarkson.
Yes, Jordan, who's also our Dancing with the Stars, but we can't talk Dancing with the Stars because we also have a story for that too. So those are my two. I'm just doing Lady Gaga, and then I have all the TV because I'm going to kind of be the TV correspondent for fall premieres because I've tried to watch almost all the new fall shows.
What I have noticed about my 3GBs is I'm like, I've got to stop talking about 3GBs as I'm consuming them because then I want to talk about them once I finish them.
Right.
I need to like switch to being like, okay, I finished this, I'm going to talk about it. Because one of them I know I talked about the week prior, the Wayward Pines series.
Yes.
Finished the first season. The first season is a 3-book series, all in one.
Okay.
They do vary a little bit from the books, but I think in a way that makes sense.
Okay.
And then the second season is crazy, a joke, doesn't make any sense. So just like stop on the first season.
Okay.
If you're gonna watch it, if you're gonna read the books, know that the 3-book series is just the first season. You don't need to keep watching.
Also, I forgot I have another GB.
Okay.
Sorry. Uglies. I forgot that was on there. That
Did
was
you
not a
watch
movie. I watched it.
Was it so bad?
When I tell you I didn't finish it, I mean it was that bad. I finished everything. I couldn't finish that. It's a definite B for me.
Yeah.
Steven did
well,
finish
it.
it.
Joey King in it. So.
Why is she horrible?
I hate her.
I don't know her enough to hate her, but I don't want to watch her movies. And I also feel the same way about Laverne Cox. It's the exact same damn character. Like,
who's that?
She's in Orange is the New Black. She's the hairdresser in Orange is the New Black. She's like a trans icon. Black hair. Like
I know
fashion, kind of tall. Yeah. Really beautiful,
I really liked her as a commentator. I haven't watched a lot of what she is in.
She
But I really
plays the
enjoyed
same
her as a
character. She
commentator.
plays like the villain in that.
Oh yeah.
It was so bad that I couldn't figure out another way to like say that. It was just so like overproduced. Like we gave a 13-year-old girl or boy a budget, or we gave a 13-year-old girl and boy a budget because there was like parts that were like, yeah, bro, beautiful explosion, and then like, oh, I can't believe it, but I just want to be pretty. You are pretty. No, you're not. I'm pretty, but we have to be.
You know, it's like such a bummer. That book was like so iconic in my teenage years.
I mean, the concept of it being like, oh, at 16 you're eligible to have these, to have
also
over the top plastic surgery.
It's like, oh, you mean these people get to be beautiful and just like live and do nothing?
Yeah, and it's like, and they're the villains.
And I'm supposed to run
Sign me up. Yeah. So I watched that.
Okay. My second one, I don't even think I have a third one this week. Oh, I do. My second one is something, it's called Behind Her Eyes. It is a thriller that I read. When I tell you up to like 80%, I was like, I have no idea what is going to happen. And then I told it to Traven, like everything that was happening. He's like, oh, this is probably what's going to happen. And I was like, oh my gosh, maybe I should have seen that coming. But I literally had no idea what was happening the entire time. It also like switches like point of views a lot, and it was like the entire time you just feel like this like lead up to something big happening. And it was really good, the payoff, so I would totally recommend it if you're into thrillers right now.
Okay.
Behind Her Eyes. It has like a black and white cover. I can't remember the author. Anyway.
Okay.
And then third is Great British Bake Off. New season.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yep, out yesterday.
Yay.
First week is Cake Week.
And is it just 1 week at a time?
1 week at a time.
Okay, that's it. 1 week at a time.
But oh my man, I was like watching it just like, oh.
There's something about baking and British accents that are carrot.
They have an
better
American
than
on this year.
An American contestant?
Yes.
Are they
He's
good?
from the Bronx.
Is he good?
He was sick for half of the episode, so he didn't.
So you didn't get to really see.
He was only like one.
If they bring an American in there,
He's married to a British woman, and he lives in Britain.
London. Yeah, okay.
But he is from the Bronx, so he kind of has a New York accent. It's quite silly. Oh, I love Great British.
I love Great British Bake Off as well.
The characters are so funny this year.
The voices, the accents, the challenges, the hosts, the judges. I love everything about Great British Bake Off. That actually makes me really excited.
No, it's like the perfect television.
It's also the perfect fall show because fall is the season for baked goods. Mm-hmm. Like we're getting into our baked good era. Like we're starting to get the pumpkin. I'm starting to see pumpkin cans of pumpkin puree like in the end caps at the grocery store. Like they're really pushing that, and like baking season, baby. All right, let's get into the stories. Before we do, I have an announcement. Check the audio.
Stop.
That way, just do it. Let's get into the stories, and then that'll be the sync. Imagine if you actually just fell. Because fall is the announcement.
Okay.
Wait, do you want to just listen? You can't. You're gonna cry if you listen to the whole thing. Honey, you hearted this.
I thought when I went into it, it was the Chapel Roan one.
No.
When I went into it, it pulled up the Chapel Roan coffee one.
Okay, ready? All right, our first story is, oh my gosh, it's already gonna make me emotional.
Do an announcement.
No, the announcement was checking the audio.
Okay, got it.
Just leave this in.
Okay.
You guys, we had an issue our last episode with the audio where so how it records, here's a little behind the scenes.
A little how-to.
Here's the behind the scenes. We don't know what we're doing. And it is trial and error. And we record with microphones, and then we have a separate camera that's recording us, and that also picks up audio as like a secondary backup. But we've never had to use the backup before. Then our last episode, you wrote me and you're like, hey, for some reason, 17 minutes in, we have great audio, and then it gets messed up, and so we are gonna have to try to use our backup audio, but we never actually used it before, which is why, you guys, it was really not good quality. We really do apologize. It was Stephanie's fault. So, just kidding, I don't really care. But so then now this time we have the microphones. We have the backup mic, and Steph brought from Traven like a rabbit tail mic.
Yeah, essentially.
Like a boom mic, but like a portable boom.
Yeah.
That no one's holding, because we don't obviously have staff. It's just the giant picture of us.
Like the entire episode is holding a boom mic over us.
It's just like off camera, just like the one hand never gets a little sore or just shaking. And so we had said that right before we got into the stories, we would check audio again because we were so heartbroken.
Yeah.
And that was my announcement. My announcement was,
we have to check the audio.
We have to check the audio. But I didn't tell Steph that that's how we're going to do it. So then she's like, no, your announcement. I wish I did an announcement. You're like, okay. All right, our first story is Maggie Smith has passed.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm going to try really hard not to get sad about it, but I'm going to say why it matters.
Yep.
One, she reminds me a lot of my grandma.
Yeah.
A lot of my grandma Rosemary.
Yeah.
My grandma Rosemary was a teacher. She was old. In my mind, she was just like this. She was from England. My grandmother loved the crown, like as in the royal family. Mm-hmm. She, as a Commonwealth of the Crown. In Canada, her husband had worked for was a Canadian at the Guard there, and served in the military, Canadian military. So like very, very posh, very much like, when I say posh, I don't mean wealthy, I mean like kind of the formal, the aristocratic, like I think of when I think of Maggie Smith. And I have just loved her since McGonagall days. I love that she was in Sister Act, like some of the biggest movies for me. And then the one that like got me the most, this is actually gonna like make me sad, but was someone writing that I didn't get to know my grandma, so God gave me Maggie Smith. Mm-hmm. And I just think like she really was a grandma to like so many people. And then obviously like one of her best roles in my mind was Wendy in Hook, because that is Steven's one of his very favorite movies, and it's the best soundtrack. He says that's the best soundtrack ever. He says is Hook.
I agree.
And so someone had said Robin Williams came to bring her to Neverland, and I was like, oh, crying so hard. And the reason why I think this is like okay, and it's okay to like have emotions and parasocial relationships with, like, obviously I didn't know her, and Wendy is not a real character, but what I think that does is it does unlock parts of like humanity that we have in us. That's like, I don't have to have a personal knowledge of someone to still be someone who's like connected to them and connected to like the greater family of mortality and humanity. Yeah. And then when I saw the wand ceremony at Florida, where everybody had gone to Universal Studios there to the Hogwarts, and they brought their wands, and it was just jam-packed. And they put their wands up.
And they lit up the castle.
They lit up the castle and everything for her. I just thought this is a really beautiful part of humanity that I'm glad we get to celebrate this.
I think what is so beautiful about her, and like, you know, even that line of like, God gave me Maggie Smith. Mm-hmm. She always played a role, at least for our generation that we watched, she always played a role where she was like this protector, mother or grandmother figure. Yeah. And so like we really saw her as that. Like we really viewed her as this, like, she was a mentor and a trainer and a protector.
Oh, like the scene to me that got me, and this is what I was writing. You guys, I was writing Stephanie last night.
He was not well.
I was not well.
Like, I'm actually surprised we made it.
And the scene that got me, that gets me every time, is when in Harry Potter, in spoiler alert, in Deathly Hallows Part 2, when Snape is, you know, telling all of the students at Hogwarts, if you're hiding Harry Potter, you know, you're gonna be suffered or whatever else. And Harry Potter comes out and doesn't want anyone to protect him. He's like, no, it's just me. And then Maggie Smith is like, no, I will protect you. Even when you're like gonna sacrifice yourself, she's like, no, I'm gonna protect. Yeah. Because even from the jump, the very beginning of the story, she's there to make sure. And she's like, is he gonna be okay? Are we gonna protect him, Albus? And I just think that is what Maggie like signified, but while still being the Dowager Countess and having her in Downton Abbey, like, just such a loss for those of
I
us
will
that
be
love
honest,
TV.
like I feel like I really have pretended that she hasn't been alive since I watched the second Downton Abbey movie
Yeah.
where she does pass away in the movie. Like I did all of my mourning at Megaplex Theater in Theater 13.
Theater 13 with me in a blanket, sobbing so bad.
Sobbing.
And actually, somebody sent us. We should look. Someone had said, "Hey, for you guys going to the movies, sent me like it's like a blanket with like a hoodie and then like secret pockets in there for snacks." And someone sent it to me and said, "Hey, for you and Steph to go to the movie." Susan sent it to me. It said Susan Coffiner had said it because I do have an announcement, but we'll end the show with an announcement.
Okay.
I told you this announcement. We just don't remember because it was pre-funeral.
Oh, got it.
Should I just say it now?
Sure.
Okay, we're gonna be doing Good, Bad, and Wicked. Good, Bad, Wicked.
Yeah.
Where we're gonna go to Wicked, and we're gonna invite whoever we want. We'll tell you guys if you're in the Salt Lake area.
Yeah.
If you want to do like a good, bad advice, come to the movie Wicked with us. We'll go grab dinner beforehand, and then we'll
buy tickets.
We'll buy tickets, and we'll snag a ton, and then you guys can just get them from us.
Yeah.
So we're gonna like kind of not like rent out a whole theater, but like quasi rent out a theater. Unless we get a sponsor.
Unless you all want to come.
And if you all want to come, actually that's a good thing. If you guys want to come, we should put this as a thing. If you guys want to come and do like a Wicked night, the tickets are going to release the first week of October, I read.
Okay.
So next week or so, maybe the week after, we may want to look at doing that pretty quickly, snagging up tickets. So if they want to, we could rent a whole theater.
No, we'll just buy 30 and whoever wants to come.
Yes, that'll be our thing. So anyways, we just loved Maggie Smith so much. R.I.P. to her. I have no advice to anyone other than
RIP.
Be sensitive to your
I think I did send it
pop
to Jason
cultures.
in the morning with just the
RIP,
big
and I didn't
RIP.
respond. I was just like so sad because
And
I
you
was
just
like,
ha-ha'd it.
yeah, because I was like, I am not well. I was super sad, and then I had to tell Steven last night, and I was like, did you see who died? And he's like, who? And I was like,
that's what happened to me.
it's like,
It's Raven.
oh my gosh, it's Maggie Smith. And then I was like crying again.
Yeah. I at night was going to bed and you were sending me all of these videos, and then I later like was watching one of like what's happening in heaven right now, and it's the scene when Robin Williams comes back from Neverland.
I know.
See, now
You're getting me. I just got out of my sad.
He says hello, Wendy Bird, and I was like, and Trey was like, what do you mean? And I was like, oh no.
Oh no, there's another one. The other video that's so sad.
No.
It's when it's Hagrid.
We have got to.
Because you know Hagrid died as well, so it's like Hagrid, Dumbledore, whatever else, and he goes.
We've got to stop.
And he comes in, he goes, we best be getting on now. And then it's Maggie, click, and you're just like, oh, so sad. We're literally crying so bad now. This is so sad. But
Jason literally sent me an image of Hagrid, Albus, Dobby, McGonagall,
and Snape
walking
to the light. Like they were waiting for her.
You guys.
It's the season finale of Lost. We are not well.
What?
We're gonna have this episode be called, hang on, the episode title's gonna be
it's
called And Then We Cried. Then we couldn't stop crying. I need to write that down.
Okay. Anyway, she's not here. I don't even know what to say. I almost was like, she's dead.
So Hooded Coffee is leaving the Today Show. We'll just transition out. I don't think there's any other way to transition. And then
just move on.
yeah, you can see that this is not pre-taped or pre-planned or anything. We're just like, okay. Well, this is also us just like every day. People are like, just hanging out with you guys is so fun. I'm like, oh yeah, no, plenty fun. But also when one of us gets sad, like the other one is just like, I'm willing to sit with you in the sad, and then we're both just like, sobbing. And then it's just like the whimper. What are you doing? Just reading the last text I got from my grandma 7 years ago. It's like, oh my gosh. It's just like pouring gasoline on an emotional fire.
Oh,
That's
sometimes
our
you're like
superpower.
so sad, but that's like the best. Like when my dad told me about my grandma used to, okay, well,
Yeah, it's okay.
my grandma used to call every year and sing happy birthday to you. And probably in like 2018, I didn't answer the phone when she called. So I got a voicemail of her singing happy birthday. And so my dad called me to tell me that she had passed. And because like I just left to pick at a scab, I found that voicemail and started playing it. Trey's like, what are you doing? Like, turn
I just
that
want to feel close
off.
to my grandma.
But I'm like,
Do we have to take a break? Do you want to take like 2 minutes and just like,
no, we're fine.
you're okay? Okay.
Listening to a like old lady singing me happy birthday, and I'm like, oh my grandma.
I'm just also laughing. So there's 6 people that watch this on YouTube. The majority just listen, right? And so just picturing the 6 random people, like 2 of them only 2 of them are in the United States too. Like that's how we know it's like a random person in like India and Bangladesh watching just like 2 white thick people just like crying about Maggie Smith. Be like, we're gonna go viral, not for any other like, not for being funny, but just like someone get them help. Look at these children.
Okay, I'm fine. Okay.
All right. Hoda Kotb also, so she's been on the Today Show, the 10 o'clock hour for 16 years. She's alive.
Okay, got it.
She's probably gonna die. That's how emotional spirals work. So funny. Okay, so Hoda Kotb announced that she's leaving the Today Show. 7 years at the 7 o'clock hour, 16 years at the
she's been there for a long time.
If you want to watch like a sob fest, you should watch Jenna's tribute to her. It is beautiful about what like her dad said, what former President Bush had said about it, and just their friendship. And I have advice. Now, first off, do not F with her, media. I pulled up an article, and I'm not even going to say what the headline was, but Us Weekly decided to post an article that was casting her in a disparaging light. Shame on you, news outlets. She is America's sweetheart right now. Don't mess with Hoda.
Yeah.
2, I know exactly who they need to replace her with. Exactly. For the 10 o'clock hour.
Okay, who?
You know who. It's our girl. It's our Southern comic. It's our Spanx ambassador. It's our Show Me Your Moo Queen. Heather McMahon has got to be.
New York, though.
She used to live in New York, and she could easily move back there. She's guest hosted the 10 o'clock hour multiple times.
Good one.
She's very, very, very charismatic. Now she's doing hosting gigs for E, because she was doing those for the red carpet. She did that for the Emmys. She's doing that for the Oscars, and she's doing it for the VMAs. I think if you're listening to today's show, Heather McMahon is an excellent
actress.
I don't know what she really wants to be. She's too old, I think, to have a full career as an actress. I think if she's smart, she plays her cards right, she keeps doing her stand-up, and she's able to do Today's Show correspondent, she'd be fire. If not...
If she wants to be an actress, I don't know if that's the best move. If she is loving being a comic.
I'll write her, because she responds to me, because we became social media friends. Heather McMahon, we've chatted maybe like 5 or 6 times total, and it's, I think, her assistant. But doesn't matter. I'll write her and say, hey girl, we would like to be a part of the nominating committee for you to be on the Today Show, if that's what she wants. Could you just let us know? Yeah. And then we could put all of our money behind her, because
that's true.
50 cents will go a long ways for her.
We'll put all of our $1.50.
Yeah, we'll put all of our coin.
Our silver coin.
Yes.
Actually, speaking of the silver coin, I did a really funny prank to my friends the other day, which I was around their child and her tooth was loose. And she was like wiggling it, and I was like, oh, that's so exciting. Her parents are standing right there. I go, that is so exciting, because you know what happens when you lose your first tooth, right? She's like, what? I'm like, tooth fairy. She goes, oh, I know about the tooth fairy. I said, no. Your first tooth, when you put it under the pillow, you get $20.
Who was it, Becca?
No, her parents were like, no.
So with Charlotte one time lost 2 teeth in one day. With me.
Oh yeah, amazing.
The night before she went back to her mom's house after summer break. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, my gosh, Charlotte, 2 teeth. That's so crazy. And I ended up having, if you have young children in the car, just skip 30 seconds. So I ended up having a couple of dollars that I was like, but I had $2 bills. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'll do a $2 bill, and then I'll do like a 20, like for like a bonus, like you lost 2 teeth is whatever. And then, because I'm gay, I thought, you know what would be fire? I'm just gonna put pixie dust all over her room. So I get from Michael's
Yeah.
like gold glitter,
Yeah.
and I put it like a little trail. I'm like, oh, really don't tell trail. And then I thought, oh, I'll do it like she was dancing on her head. So I put it on her head, and I put it on her body, blah, blah, blah. And then the next day when we're having to board a plane, and I look at my daughter who has a hair full of glitter, like she just got out of a rave as she's 7 years old. And I'm like, oh, honey, your hair. She's like, I couldn't really get the pixie dust out of my hair from the tooth fairy. It's like, okay. So just put her on the plane. I was like, trying to, no, it could not come out. It didn't come out for like days. Glitter does not come out. Craft glitter, you have to get hair glitter, turns out, so it can wash and dissolve. Craft glitter, she don't do that.
No.
It's also terrible, I guess, for your pipes or things. So you're not supposed to like rinse all that stuff. It gets stuck out there. So, okay. So one, leave her alone, but two, I really think Heather McMahon would be a great.
That's a great take.
Because I think she's fun. I think Jenna gets to be fun, and then.
I also like my advice, like know when to move on.
Yes. Well, and Hoda did it so that she could be with her family.
Yeah.
Like she said, ultimately I realized, I think she's 60 or 50.
Yeah.
But she's like, I've spent a lot of my life doing this and I love it, but I also love being with my children more, and I want to be with them. Queen energy. Okay, speaking of queen energy, Donna Kelce has some incredibly blunt advice for her son Travis ahead of his first major acting role.
This was my favorite because it was so relatable.
Now, she says, he is a part of the FX's Grotesquerie. That is the one show that I hadn't quite watched because I don't watch anything that is like spooky or a little haunting.
Yeah.
But Donna Kelce had said, he has no fear of trying things and he has no fear of failure. So great.
Yeah.
Then she says, sometimes parents want to fix things for their kids, but sometimes it's better to just let them fail. You learn the most from the things you don't do well. Hopefully, if this is something he wants to do, he'll get better at it.
You guys, she said this on the carpet. It's the premiere for the show. She's like,
listen, moms, we love you. Never stop being a mom. Never stop being moms. Dads never stop being dads. Dads, we get a kind of a different role. We get to be more like always supportive because we're a little bit idiot. And moms are like, gonna pick up this mess. I love everything about this because she's saying what a lot of us are thinking.
Yeah.
Why the hell is he there?
Yeah.
Why does he need to be there? Just stick to football. Also, maybe focus a little bit more on football because you sucked the last game. Like, we are having a repeat of last year if you keep that crap up.
Yeah.
And I do watch sports, you guys. Watch
Only for
sport. Not saying what I watch for, but everyone's kind of thinking like, okay, he's going to be hosting Are You Smarter Than a Celebrity, and he's going to be in TV. Like, he's trying to position, I get like his, he's probably only another year or two out. He's watching his brother retire. I get that he's expanding. I also love so much that his mom is like, sometimes you want to protect our kids from stuff that they're going to suck at, but they should just suck.
Yeah, let them.
Anyway, I'm going to go on in. I'm wearing Donna Karen.
The way that she is so untrained in the media is just like so
and
honest
it's
to
not
me.
for lack of trying by every single handler / PR representative for the Kelce brand and Taylor Swift brand, probably like the amount of resources that are being shelled out and turned away by Mama Kelce to help her be more quote unquote media.
She is a Midwest mom. Do you think that she's
No.
like, I'm not listening to this?
Like
I can do this. I'm gonna say something and it's gonna be fine.
She probably just sits there, actually because she's a Midwest mom, she probably's like, I'll take the meetings. Then they say, okay, we don't want you to do this. And she's like, oh, okay. And then get to the red carpet. Yeah, I think he's going to be terrible. I hope he gets better.
Honestly, I found it so refreshing.
Yeah, I just think
it just continues to make their family so lovable.
Yes.
When she's like, not this, like she just brings cookies on the Good Morning show. Like she just, the Today Show, not the Good Morning show.
And she's not thirsty.
No.
Like, I feel like a lot of moms, Dina Lohan,
supportive.
the Spears, like a lot of parents who are like only famous for being a parent, not famous for something independent that then their child has like nepotism for. But if you're only famous because of something that your kid did, then it is one of those things where you're like, okay.
Here's the thing. And here's what I love about it, and this is like we very much grew up with this like critical feedback
Yeah.
that was like helping support us and shape us. And whether or not you think that that's the right way to parent,
Sure.
but like she is being supportive by being there.
Yep.
She is still, because she is her own person,
Now, is she
allowed to
married?
have feedback.
Is
No.
Travis and they're
They're
divorced? Okay. And what's he like? Do we have any idea?
He'll show up to things. He just seems like very much aloof Midwestern dad.
Yeah.
Who just like wanted them to
Not
play
that we're
ball
trying to be
somewhere.
offensive to
No,
everybody.
we love our
We
Midwestern.
love everybody. We love a daddy.
But like, I just think my advice is like, you know, I think people need more feedback. I think that we should be giving people feedback. You don't always need to be critical.
Oh, I thought you were saying give Donna Kelce. I was like, no. We need more Donna Kelce's, is what you're saying.
Yeah, we need
We
more
need
Donna
about-
Kelce's. Like,
I
here's
want
the
14
thing.
of them.
14 of them. Give me 14 right now. Was that the right venue for her to say something? No.
Yeah, what do you
put
think
it in the
Travis
text.
said? Do you think Travis was like, Mom?
No, I think he just laughed it off because
Yeah, because he
that's
just
kind of how
realized
my
that's just
mom
Donna.
is. That's how
Yeah.
into it
That's-
was. Like,
How my mom would be too. She'd
Yeah,
be like, oh, yeah.
I remember literally trying on a shirt once and walking out to my grandma. She was like, "Oh no, that is not flattering on you." Like the first thing she said.
Right.
And I do think that we are in a day and age where it's like, you're amazing, everything you're doing is great, but like people need feedback to get better. Was that the right moment to do it? No. Put it in a text.
Okay, yeah.
Like, but
But I do
I
love it. It's so relatable. I think she gives queen energy.
yes, she does.
You know who else gives queen energy? And I'm going out on a limb here.
Okay, go ahead.
Anna Delvey, when she got eliminated from Dancing with the Stars.
No, I
Because
just kind of love it.
I listened to Sharna Burgess's take on it. She's
Yeah.
a former pro.
Uh-huh.
I was very much anti Anna Delvey until she said something. She said the question was, what are you taking from this show?
Mhm.
Anna Delvey has already been accused and went to prison for being accused of taking things.
Yeah.
And so someone pointed out she's been trained
Yeah.
when asked about having taken something for her to say nothing. I took nothing.
Uh-huh.
Because she's in the trope of denying
Uh-huh.
anything. So Sharna had said, keep in mind, or someone on her page had said, keep in mind that the question was, what did you take from Dancing with the Stars? And she said, nothing. I didn't take anything. Now, do I think she loved the thing? No, she got eliminated, and it didn't help that Tori Spelling right beforehand in the most like golden retriever energy. She cannot stop talking about how great this experience was. They have to pull the mic from her. And then they cut to Anna Delvey, who says nothing. One, I feel very badly for her partner Ezra, because I do think he is going to be a pro for a long time, because I think everybody feels badly for him. But I do think he went on earlier this week and posted a video of saying, and he was like very emotional about it. He said, people do understand that Anna Delvey is like a real person. In fact, after the last comments from night one, we couldn't find her, and we found her crying in the bathroom.
I think I've said this to you about Anna Delvey, and like, do I think it's controversial to have somebody on who has like an ankle bracelet? I don't know, maybe. Like,
we're steering clear of all the politics.
Right, whatever. But like, part of me, and I even felt this way after watching like Inventing Anna or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you guys are stupid.
Yeah.
Like,
the other thing that someone pointed out that I thought was really interesting about Anna Delvey is that she's not pretty. Like, she's having a glow up right now, but she was not very pretty. If you look at her in the courtroom, which means that she wasn't using her like womanly woes, like the sort of like super sexual side of the female, like that's how they get things done. No. She was just that convincing.
No.
And we could be mad at her for that, but if I'm a 55-year-old hedge fund manager, or whoever the people were, if someone comes in here and I'm not doing my due diligence and I'm able to have been completely conned by a 20-something-year-old female who's just conning you, you got conned, bro.
No.
You got conned. You're the pro.
Like,
you have a
and here's the other
PhD
thing,
and whatever.
Hedge fund finance bros like con each other out of money all the time. I just am like, I'm sorry, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Like, to a person that like, if I was her friend.
Yeah, the friend stuff I don't love.
Stuff I feel differently, but like these
Agreed.
major things that she like con people out of, I'm like, you literally signed contracts with her.
Right.
Did she con you out of it? Like, you're an idiot.
This is on you. Now, obviously, like the more vulnerable the population gets, the more egregious the offense is.
Yeah.
I would venture to say that the hedge fund managers and investment bankers and the Wall Street bros are the least vulnerable.
Yep.
Because they're the most predatory.
Yeah.
Of
predatory,
all financial crimes.
And they have so many processes in place.
Totally.
Like, you
oversight, regulations. There's entire commissions that are, focused on that.
Now, do I think she's a good friend? Probably not, because it seems like she scammed friends too. I don't agree with that.
Right.
But like,
Hi, sweetie. It's Charlotte. We're just recording right
Hi,
now.
Charlotte.
But now, when you listen to this episode, you'll know. So, would you like to say anything? No, you can't. Don't say anything. But we're just saying hi. Okay, I'll call you back.
Bye.
Bye.
No, you can't.
Because I'm like, oh, you can't because the audio is so
Yeah.
good.
No, I do. Do I think she's a good friend? No. Does it seem like she was a good friend to Ezra? Maybe. Like,
Yeah.
I think she's the type of friend where you literally are gonna have to like work so hard at it.
Yeah.
And I just think like the people who have a problem with Anna Delvey like touch grass.
And I just think like there's bigger things
There
to
were people
care
who
about.
wanted Gypsy Rose on the show, like touch grass.
Yeah, like Gypsy Rose, okay,
That's
she literally had
crazy.
her mom murdered. Anna Delvey, she conned hotels. Like, she conned business entities. Okay, guess what, hotels? You don't do the bet.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna get on a little soapbox here.
Go ahead.
Here's the problem I have with hotels right now. You do not get to bitch about anything when you're not willing to clean my room every dang day. When they're like, sorry, we only clean on odd days. You're only here for 3 days, so we only have to clean it once. Since when? I want to destroy that place, leave for a swim, and come back and have it be pristine.
Yep.
And if you are not offering that service anymore, you do not get to complain about not getting paid, what, $50,000? I just think like hospitality has taken a huge nosedive, and I have to travel a ton. I'm getting into going to travel season, being with Steven, and I hate more than anything when I come back after I leave for the day to come back and
Coming back
nothing's
to a
been
dirty
made
house.
up, and you're like,
It's the worst.
that's why I'm at a hotel. If I want to get an Airbnb where I have to clean after me, then I would have done that. But I want thee to clean after me.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Anyway.
Okay, Lana del Ray got married this past week. When I tell you the gasp, I had no idea. First off, I had no idea that she was, I thought she was a lesbian, to be honest.
Love this story.
When I then see that she has married a guy whose profession
Crocodile Dundee.
is an alligator tour guide, Jeremy Dufresne. Dufresne? D-U-F-R-E-N-E. Dufresne?
Dufresne.
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 We're from
That
Louisiana.
sounded really French.
I know, that sounded way French. Hi, if you need a dialect.
Emily in
coach,
Paris,
girls.
please call me.
The Olympic. Dang it, we just missed our chance to be correspondents.
Correspondant.
Yeah, correspondents for the Olympics.
Is my French accent amazing?
I don't know, but try it again.
No, no.
Okay. Okay. Lana Del Ray married her alligator tour guide only a month after debuting it, and it was a wedding on the Louisiana Bayou.
Okay.
There's nothing more Lana Del Ray, honestly, than being like, I'm marrying Jeremy.
Yeah.
Who's Jeremy? He wrestles alligators.
What's so like funny about this to me is like I saw a TikTok that was like, I'm actually so lonely I too would marry my alligator.
An alligator tour
if
guide.
he was nice to me.
Oh, that is the best take. No. No one actually wants to marry an alligator tour guide. They're forced to because everyone else is dead.
Like if I went on an alligator tour guide and like my tour guide was hot enough and nice to me, I too would marry him after a month.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure he's lovely. Sometimes things like this too, I'm like, that alligator tour guide is literally going to be in a room with Taylor Swift at some point.
Yeah. Like, he's now a part of an inner circle that he did not ever imagine himself being a part of.
No, he's like, a hot chick on my tour.
Yeah, he'll be there, like, with just like a pickle. Like a giant pickle encrusted in hot flaming Cheetos.
And then he's going to be like,
He's like, there's a new album, we gotta keep it secret. Oh, that's what she means by 13?
And your life is sweet like cinnamon. What does that mean? How do you say
No.
like that?
I want to
Like,
see what her. How long has she been dating him? A long time?
a month.
No. She debuted the relationship after a month.
Oh.
It was only after a month of debuting it. I don't know how long they've been actually together. Do you know?
No, I
Let
have
me look
no
in his
idea.
article.
I thought it was a month.
Oh, dang it. I hate clumsy thumbsy.
I
Okay.
thought she got married after a month. Which, even if
No, it says
still
just a
married,
month
but-
after their relationship was revealed.
Oh.
But it doesn't actually.
No, my life is sweet like cinnamon.
Gosh, it actually doesn't say how long they were dating.
Well, I hope it was just a month. 'Cause
I guess we don't know
I
because
find
it's just
so entertaining.
Literally, if it was just a month, they're like, I don't know, let's just do this thing. It's like getting married right before the end of the year, so you get the tax
Listen, like
benefit.
I too was attracted to Steve Irwin, so I guess I get it.
Our advice: marry whoever you want. We don't really care. Marry an alligator for all I care. I'm not
Don't fornicate,
yucking
'cause
anybody
that's-
yum.
I will yuck that yum.
Don't what?
Don't fornicate with
With
an
an
alligator.
alligator?
You can marry them though.
Yeah. Okay, no focus. Okay, this is actually kind of a sad article that I put in here because I have some good advice, just generally.
Okay.
But Keegan Michael Key says that it's a tragedy that he and Jordan Peele don't see each other that often anymore.
Oh.
And he did an interview with People, and he was talking about how he and Jordan Peele, when they were doing their Comedy
probably saw
Central
each other
show,
every
they saw
day.
each other all the time, that they actually lived together, that they were being able to hang out, and that his words of that it was alchemy, which I just think is such a beautiful way to say that, to say like a friendship.
Yeah.
But then that they just got too busy for each other, and my advice is. Sawyer Hemsley was on Josie's podcast, The Weekly Trash, and he was talking about how hard. First off, his teeth are terrible, but he was talking about how hard.
I don't even know who you're talking about.
Owner of Crumble.
Got it.
He also.
Is he?
Well, everyone thinks that. That's why I always kind of like keep an eye, watchfly. Allegedly, that's why I keep like a watchfly. But he was talking about how hard, he said, look, I lost a lot of my friends when I was starting this company, and then now that the company's in a good space, I'm trying to make friends in my 30s, and that is really, really, really hard. And she asked something like, I know, wouldn't it have just been better to like keep the friendships along? And he's like, yeah, I had a couple that I did, but it's just, most didn't. And my advice is, there is almost nothing more important than good friends.
Yeah.
Like really, I can't think of anything that matters more to me than some of the friendships I have, which includes members of my family, like the members of my family that I'm genuine friends with. I think our friendships are what we will take with us in the next life. Like that will be probably our choicest prized possession. And so it just made me sad thinking of like these two comedic geniuses who seem like best friends, who have so many shticks together and sketches and movies and scripts or whatever else, and it makes me think of like Tina Fey and Amy Poehler, or Kristen Wiig and Maya Rudolph, like people that have real friendships that survive and that you cultivate. So my advice is, if you have friends, be good friends. Reach out to your friends, just be like, hey, just think about you, just let you know I love you, I'm so glad we're friends. Hey, I haven't talked to you in a while. I love some of my friends that are like that, like Margot, who I don't see for always, and then she'll just show up and we're buying Goyer bags, and she's just like, oh no, I can get you, because she was introducing me to the Real Real, and I was like, I want a Bottega, Banana Bottega bag,
I love the Real Real.
briefcase.
Excuse
me. And then she's sending me links all last week, and we hadn't talked for like 3 weeks prior. Like I just value your friends. That's what I want to say. I want to say, don't miss out. Don't, in whatever you're trying to climb to, don't miss out on like bringing your friends with you, because that summit could be really lonely by yourself.
Yep.
Way more fun.
You need
with
your yacht
friends.
friend.
You need your gal friend. What'd you say?
I said a yacht friend.
Oh, I said your gal friend, and I was like, yeah, your gal friend. I was just like trying to.
I know when you said that, I was like,
huh? Okay, yeah. You
The
need
silence.
your yacht friend. Your gal friend, right?
The silence after you said gal, I was like,
You're like, okay, weirdo.
We joke about being a yacht friend, which is like, if you watch these shows on Bravo or whatever, where like
any luxury
person-
show,
any luxury show, to be fair, where it's a vacation trip.
Mhm.
There is a rich friend
And there's
that
a funny
pays for
person.
everything. And then there's a yacht friend. And the yacht friend is the entertainment.
Yeah.
And the good friend that's been there forever, might be drama, might not be, might just be like the comedic relief. Be the yacht friend.
Yes, agreed.
Actually, okay, I have another thing to say on this.
Okay.
I watched a video the other day that was like, if you've never felt cool, or like, you know, been the cool person, the cool kid, the cool blah blah blah, it's probably because you're not cool, you're warm. And
Whoa.
I was like,
Hang on, say that for people in the back.
I know.
If you've never felt like you are one of those cool friends, it could be because you're warm.
Yeah. And honestly, I was like, I've never felt cooler than when I heard that, because this is like the thing that I talked about with French women, where I was like, wow, French women are so cool, they're so mysterious, I should be more French. And then I was like, imagine
Totally.
me being like mysterious, and like, it's one of those things that I was like, oh, I'm not cool, I'm warm.
Yes.
Like, it's
I
such
love
a
that.
beautiful
That is such
way
a
to like
beautiful
think
way
about
to
yourself.
describe you too.
Because like, I really do, I have friends that I'm like, they're cool.
Yeah.
And they're mysterious, and they're like more solemn, and like not as like, you know, outwardly expressive. And I think that they're cool, but like, it's cool to be warm.
I love it so much. I wouldn't even say it's cool to be warm. I'd say it's better to be warm than to be cool.
I don't even know if it's better. Like,
I do, because if I would rather, like, if I think of like the super cool, like almost not, it's like, it's not what I want at the end of the long day. At the end of the
I
long day,
know,
I
but
want a
like,
warm friend.
I have cool friends that I'm like, I admire you, I love you. Like, Margot is a cool friend. She is a
Interesting.
little bit more like,
Yeah, maybe people are not just one thing.
it's not just about being
It's
a cool
about the
girl.
dynamic, because
It's about
Margot
the
may be
dynamic.
cool for you, but she's so warm for me.
Yeah.
Because I know like the warm of her.
You get a lot more
A lot more raw with different people. That's actually a good way to say it. There's people you could be the cool person with, but then I think ultimately I just love when people are when they turn warm. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, for the last segment of the show, we're gonna go through some fall TV premiere
Yes, and Chase is
recap.
gonna go through them because I know nothing. The only.
But I'm
thing
gonna
I
share kind of my thoughts, because we thought, hey, if you
He's
guys are
gonna
looking up for new
recommend
shows, I'm gonna recommending what you're not recommending. However, I haven't seen all of them, but if you don't want spoiler alerts or like my kind of take, then love ya, like and subscribe. Okay, so English Teacher, it's on Hulu. I actually had that on my GB last week. Love it so much. It's only gotten better with
So
time.
funny.
Stephanie, I think it's honestly going to be your favorite type of funny show.
Shrinking comes out in a couple weeks.
Very shrinking style.
Okay,
Very
nice.
shrinking, very quick, but not like audience track, not not Modern Family.
Need
just
to be
very
paying
quick.
attention.
No, I don't think you have to be paying attention, but if you're not paying attention, you're missing a lot of
jokes.
nuance. Yeah. Now, I have not seen I haven't seen Fight Night, the $1 Million Heist with Kevin Hart, but that's on Peacock.
Okay.
I did start a couple episodes in on The Perfect Couple on Netflix.
How is it?
Meh.
Okay.
I want to love it more than I do. Nicole
I
Kidman
need Nicole
is.
Kidman to be a little bit more choosy in her.
I need her to also
projects.
be a little bit more. I just need to
She's
see a little bit more
acting poor.
range from her. Yeah, she's not exactly poor.
She's acting like she doesn't have money, and so she's in a lot.
She's
of
taking
things right now.
everything. No, I think she's. I'm not sure what it is.
I mean,
but
she's
did
always
love
talented.
that.
It just is. It's giving desperate.
Now, How to Die Alone is on Hulu.
Okay.
It's Superstore, but for an airport.
Got it.
Airport. I really like her. It's the White Lotus's Natasha Rothwell.
I have not seen White Lotus.
So this is the actress.
Got it.
She's the lead. A comedy. She has like a near-death experience, and then she's like, actually, I'm going to start living life. And so she's kind of choosing, but it's about her friendships and other relationships, and kind of like how Superstore predominantly revolved around America Ferrera and her love interest. Is it America Ferrera in Superstore?
Maybe.
Ugly Betty. Girl,
No.
isn't that the same?
Yeah, that's American Ferrera.
And that is the same girl in Superstore, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So very, very similar to that, which is interesting. I think it's one that I could watch. I watched maybe 2 episodes yesterday while I was just at work. I could have it on, didn't have to pay attention. Just like in Superstore, you don't really have to pay attention, but I bet I'm missing some of the heart because I think some of the cast members are really good, and you'll recognize a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
They're some from How to Get Away with Murder, some from different, like, with the one about the fairy tales.
Once Upon a Time.
Once Upon a Time, like some of those actors, that level of acting kind of in that, which is not terrible. It was actually kind of entertaining to watch.
Mm-hmm.
High Potential is probably my favorite new show.
Okay, what is it?
It's so Caitlin Olsen, who's the star of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. She's also the daughter in Hacks. She was starred in The Mick on Fox, which got a couple of seasons. She is a cleaning lady at a police office who is like OCD but has an IQ of 160, and so she's able to have like see what things are, what's messy, what's broken, what's not supposed to be there, and then so she ends up becoming a consultant. We've watched both episodes. I have been obsessed with it. Honestly,
what is it on?
It's on Hulu.
Okay.
It's on ABC, so I get it on Hulu.
Okay, perfect.
And I like actually sent that to family and friends, being like, "This is the show that I'm really loving." So High Potential. Tried The Golden Bachelorette. Very awkward to me to watch older people be like flirty. I feel like they should be knitting, so it's not for me. But
knitting or bingo, please.
Knitting, bingo, or getting mad at something that seems racist. Like being a racist, not being mad at racism. Because they're really not generally. They are the racists.
Yeah.
Most of the time, the older folk are. Agatha All Along is on Disney Plus. I watched 2 episodes of that. You know, Disney budget for sure. Not Marvel. It's not a Marvel. It's Marvel, but it's not Marvel. It doesn't follow the same sort of archetype pattern, but entertaining. Good. Yeah.
Great actresses in there. So
excellent actresses. I have started The Penguin. It's dark. I did not finish the episode.
That's the Batman one?
It's on HBO. That is pretty dark, just so everybody knows.
That makes sense.
We also started Monsters, the Lyle and Eric Mendez story. Speaking of dark, also, I think Ryan Murphy, who is doing that, Ryan Murphy's Crime Anthology, I think he took some liberties. I don't think first off, not for children. There's some incestuous stuff that is explored that I think is maybe not necessary. So that's a no for me solely because of material. The other kind of show I actually wrote my parents last night because we watched Matlock, the remake of Matlock. This one is starring Kathy Bates. It's on Paramount Plus because it's on CBS. Genius. Okay. From beginning to end, the episode was probably one of the best premiere episodes for like a season premiere to really get an idea of 1, the individual episodes, what they all will feel like, and 2, what the larger theme of the series will be. That's a very like hard thing to do, and the show does a good job. You're laughing.
I'm laughing because I'm like, oh, this sounds really good, and then I like have Devil Angel on my shoulder that's like, oh my gosh, all these shows sound so good. I should watch new shows, and then the devil on my shoulder is like, rewatch Gilmore Girls.
I know. I'm actually glad because these are all pretty good shows. Yeah. I have Brilliant Minds on my watch list. That's with Zachary Quintino, the guy from Heroes.
Oh, I like him.
I really like him too. I find him really attractive, so I'll watch it solely for that. I did watch Murder in a Small Town. That's on Fox. Don't know any of the actors or actresses. It feels kind of like La Brea, or did you watch that show? Or kind of those ones where you're wanting to maybe get behind it, but it just doesn't. It's not quite firing for me. And then the other ones, the ones that I watched Dr. Odyssey, that has Joshua Jackson, the guy from One Tree Hill, as like a doctor on like a luxury cruise ship. It's gonna be like 911, like those sorts of movies or shows where you don't really need to watch, but you can. Oh, the other one that was fantastic was Nobody Wants This, comedy series on Netflix starring Kristen Bell and Adam Brody,
I've heard that's
where
amazing.
He's the rabbi and she's a podcaster, fellow podcasters. It's just fun to see us in the news.
Queen, you know.
We see each other. But excellent writing.
Uh-huh.
But I actually, because I was trying to go through, yesterday I was catching up on a couple more of these new premieres. That was one where I was like, if I was not needing to watch and pivot to something else, I would just stay watching it. And it's like multiple episodes are on Netflix now. I don't know if the whole season's been released, but it's really, really, that one I would for sure say you would like.
Okay.
And then I am excited on Sunday because The Summit is a new reality competition series on CBS.
Mm-hmm.
It says that it's supposed to put shows like The Challenge to shame as it pits competitors against each other on a mountain, with each of them holding an equal share of $1 million prize as they reach the summit. And then whoever actually gets the summit, they will divide the money. But there's all these challenges and people will quit and then give their money up in order to get off the mountain. Super cool concept to me.
Okay.
And then the last new show that I watched, or two new shows, one of them is the new season of, it's not a new show, but the new season of Survivor is actually great.
Okay.
I really like it. I am really liking the new season of Dancing with the Stars. And I just finished Selling Sunset season 8, which was excellent.
There's 8 seasons of Selling Sunset.
Yes, there's only like 8 to 10 episodes per season,
fair.
so it's not a full arc. But that one is really, really good, mindless TV. At the end of the night, you just need something to wash over you, and you just want to look at something beautiful. And then the last thing is, have you caught up on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City?
No.
Excellent. The new housewife, Bronwyn, she's my age. She's married to a 65-year-old man who is a P-John, like an actual P-John. We need to protect their marriage.
Yeah.
She's fire. She is fashion. She is interesting. She's a pot stirrer. She's a great addition. The other kind of ancillary wives are great too, including one of them dating an Osmond. So like they're pulling in some of those things. I also like it because Heather's not been on a ton, and I hope she dies. So
he doesn't mean that. He doesn't.
I don't mean that. Because then I'd actually feel bad. Then I don't feel badly for that woman. I don't have any more of my energy. So that is my TV recap, my fall TV recap. Thank you for letting me just download. If you're watching new fall shows, tell us.
Let us know.
Let us know. Put it in the comments. And if you made it this part of the episode, go back to our episode title on social media and put a TV icon, the TV emoji. That way we know you'll make it all the way here. And kiddos, if you made it this far, the secret word is TV. TV.
A good one.
All right, you guys. Anything else you want to share before I gotta go to therapy?
No, love ya.
Love you guys so much. Please follow us on all of our social media platforms. Good Bad Advice Podcast. That's on TikTok. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. What?
We're on Twitter.
Yeah, I have Twitter.
Well, I don't like things on there.
What?
Nothing.
Yes, so we gotta be careful on Twitter. But please follow us there, share, and then download the episode. The very last thing we have to say is our very good friend, our listener Mandy. Congratulations, Mama, on your baby girl.
Taylor Allison Swift.
We love her. It is not the name of the baby. Her baby is Lila, L-Y-L-A, or Lila.
Oh, that's a
it's
cute
either, I'm not
name.
sure
I
the
think it's
pronunciation.
Lila.
Maybe Lila.
Lila is pretty too.
Either of them, please tell us if we're saying it wrong, Mandy. But if you're listening to this while you're, what? Lila or Lila?
I don't hate Lila.
What?
I
I like both.
Lila.
I like both, yeah. Whatever it is, Mandy, we love you so much. Congratulations on your new baby. We are thrilled for you. Yes. So mazel on that. And we will see.
Cheesy.
No, it's okay.
I was
do you
going
want
to
to
say
say
the
something
Lord
else?
taketh and the Lord giveth.
I thought that's where you were going to
Maggie
go.
Smith.
Yes. We started the episode with a death and we're ending with a birth.
Ugh.
That is the cycle of life. The circle of life. And it moves us all through despair and hope.
Okay,
Through
stop.
faith and
Stop so we can
love.
monetize this later.
Alright. Okay. Bye, you guys.
Bye.
Through faith and love till we find our day. Boom, boom. Gotta go to therapy. And I gotta get coffee for her and me. Coffee. That was a good episode.
No, it was good.
That was a lot of content.
Nailed it.
Which I love. I love having a content-full episode. Feels educational, you know?
Yeah. I was both crying.
Literally, not like simple crying, like
No,
people
cried.
cried.
And tears. Oh, I didn't stop this.